Breaking news right now at 11. LA Mayor Karen Bass reacting tonight to an appeals court ruling dealing a blow to immigration operations in Southern California. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Pat Harvey.
I'm Ruta Shabazi. Let's get right to KCAL assignment editor Mike Rogers live at the desk with that breaking news.
And Mike, you've had more on the ruling, what exactly it means, as well as the response from Mayor Bass.
Yeah, that's right. Pat and Ruta have been going through this ruling by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, essentially saying that the federal immigration officers cannot conduct these raids based on 4 factors that include race or ethnicity, language spoken, including where they may be standing. I want to show you some of the information here from the court ruling, saying, quote, the 4 enumerated factors at issue: apparent race or ethnicity, speaking Spanish or speaking English with an accent, particular location and type of work, even when considered together, only describe a broad profile and do not demonstrate reasonable suspicion for any particular stop. The ruling goes on to say defendants, however, provided no evidence, not even a bald assertion, that any of the public spaces or types of businesses they are targeting are used exclusively or even predominantly by individuals illegally in the country. Now, the ruling also goes on to talk about the courts or the federal government's claim that if this goes into effect, it would basically hamper them from doing any kind of immigration enforcement. The ruling says if, as defendants suggest, they are not conducting stops that lack reasonable suspicion, they can hardly claim to be irreparably harmed by an injunction aimed at preventing a subset of stops not supported by reasonable suspicion. That portion of it comes from the federal government in court saying that they could go back and prove that they had reasonable suspicion for these stops. So essentially the court here is saying that, well, if you can prove that you had reasonable suspicion, then you won't be harmed by this ruling. Tonight, Mayor Karen Bass reacting to the Court of Appeals decision.
In the last few weeks, since the temporary restraining order was in place, there has been peace in the city. There has not been masked men riding recklessly up and down the street, snatching people. That has stopped. And this decision tonight upholds that.
And again, this decision does not mean that immigration enforcement action cannot happen here in Southern California. It just means that it cannot be predominantly based on those 4 factors upheld by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. The case now goes back to the lower court for a preliminary injunction, because remember, this is just a temporary restraining order. So it'll go back for a preliminary injunction hearing in late September. Guys?
Mike, thank you.